automatically be half a percentage point lower because of that new state program. So.
Patrick probably already has this in his head, right? So let's just, the number of 4%. 4% of 10,000 is about $35 a month.
I guess I didn't divide by month. I just looked at it annual.
Right, so it's $400
Right.
divided by 12 months, roughly.
Yeah.
30. So it's,
So the other aspect of this is the other elected officials, their pay increases, or it starts January 1st.
Correct.
And would that affect the commissioners, where they are January to December 31st?
That's where your anniversary dates are. Right. So, and because there was not an application of any increase in last year's budget,
Right.
then that didn't change.
You have the power to put in whenever, if you want a calendar year or a fiscal year.
Well, I know we can do that. That's why I wanted to bring it up, so that we could at least have that discussion and not have a confusion about that going forward. Where we'd want to start that, whether it would be with our swearing in dates, which is January the 1st or 2nd or however, or essentially January 1st, but,
or approval of budget.
or with the and approval, or July 1st. So,
Well, historically, when county commissioners have received cost of living increases, do those go into effect on January 1st or in July 1st?
They've only changed once, and it was based on a budget year.
July.
They just incorporated it in the following budget.
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you. Gives us some ideas. We're all set with the workshops? No more discussion on compensation for the pesky county commissioners? All right. No public hearings. Public comment? Anyone from the public to comment? Seeing none. New agenda items, commissioners only. Nothing. And administrators report.
So some of you have the caucus paperwork and the dates and times for those budget appointments. And so I think District 1, 3, and 5, you have those papers, and I think you all know where to go, and that paperwork that is there, just to the best of your ability, collect a couple of signatures, and if you could get me the contact information, if we don't already have it. Like, for example, Stephanie Thibodeau in District 1, I already have her contact information. But the gentleman from Canaan, I'd like some contact information, and I think Mike Watson from Cambridge. So in those three cases, the people that would be new on the budget committee that have already consented that they want to do this, and notices are being sent out to all of the towns. Cornville, we're still working on, still working for a viable candidate from Cornville to serve, and so I'll be making some follow-up phone calls this week. But if you have any questions, as long as you get that paperwork back to me, that would be great. I'll put it in our caucus file, so if anybody ever asks if we did it the right way according to the charter, we can say we did.
Do they have to be an official of the town, or is it going to be anybody from the town?
No, it has to be an official.
It has to be an official.
An officer or an official.
Right.
I remember that from last year. So.
Yeah. So they can be an elected select board person or like an appointed planning board member, something like that. So again, if you have any questions on those processes, just let me know. In my written report that I submitted in your packet there, there's just a couple of items that I've been working on over the last couple of weeks, and then I also put together essentially a year in review, highlights of things that our office has worked on in administration. And I put that on there to kind of remind myself what I did this year, but also it's helpful if the commissioners want to use that as kind of a guide for my evaluation and review. And speaking of that, in your packets, it may be either 3-hole punched or separate, there should be an item that looks like this, which is the matrix for performance review for the administrator. And please use that to whatever degree you'd like to use. Right now, I intend to schedule an executive session for the next meeting, January 15th, to do my review. Love it if you could be there. And that's pretty much a year. Last year, we did it the second meeting in January. So if you have any questions, I suppose I could answer. It's my review.
The review paper? I don't have it in here.
So I'm currently under a 2-year contract that started in July of '23 that will end in July of '25. So.
So it's probably there. I was going to ask you something, slipped my mind.
Oh, sorry.
Never mind. Any questions or comments on the administrator's report? Seeing none. Finance and other reports.
Other reports?
I have a
I didn't
question.
get the memo on the other reports.
Not for any other department head.
The other department.
I have nothing on the other report. Financially, we're holding, there's no substantial changes since the last time I reported to you. The only thing that's really changed since the last meeting was we are currently capturing the FL, with the planned family and medical leave contributions. So I've been getting phone calls and emails wondering, what is this? So the employees, at least the employees that are paying attention to their check stubs.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I have.
If I could add a footnote to the finance report, I was looking through the minutes from last year, and so at this meeting a year ago, January 24, when Patrick reported, there were 19 openings in the county, and now there are 2, countywide, out of 150.
Very
So,
good.
so hiring and recruiting and retention has really improved over the last year.
Good.
Well done.
That's great.
Well done, everyone here, everybody, except me.
I have a question that, I mean, you probably have your thumb right on the pulse of it. Dale, as sheriff, may as well. The gas for our vehicles, how do we recapture the sales tax if we do actually pay sales tax at the time at the pump?
We currently don't capture it in the sense that we get a 15% discount on the gas through WEX.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So we're still paying for sales tax, though, irrespective of the 15%.
Yep.
Because I remember that Fairfield actually uses the state garage, the state facilities, and gets their gas there.
I can check on that.
So if it can save recapture those funds, I think we should at least be looking at that. I assume it's fairly substantial.
Oh, yeah, state of Maine, yeah.
Yes.
I live in South Carolina where the gas tax is very low.
Yeah. Okay, anyhow, that was my one question.
Another question regarding the 1% for the medical leave. Because I've talked to some other folks outside of the county, it's a concern that if they're not being given the option to opt out.
There
I
is,
just didn't know if there was any.
The only way you can opt out is if the organization opts out. And for an organization to opt out, they have to offer something similar to what the state offers. Which in theory you can, because we do offer IPP, which is short-term disability, but the county would have to cover costs of that.
So it was told to these individuals, talked to me, that if they didn't opt out or whatever, however it worked, that they were automatically put in for the 1%.
Well, it's 0.5%.
0.5% to them, 0.5% to them.
Or whatever,
Yeah,
so.
they can't be a full percent. The
Well, what they're saying is-
the employer can eat the full percent.
They didn't fill out the forms to opt out, so they automatically were put in and paid, had to pay out on that.
Yeah, but the employees don't have any forms to fill.
Okay, so, I wanted clarification, because that's what I didn't think there was anything like that.
Yeah,
No.
unfortunately, there's no choice.
Yeah, there's no opting out.
The only opt-out is if you're in a union contract
Okay.
at the time that this
New
goes
Hampshire.
into effect. But then in 2026, they have to.
There's some confusion out there about that, because the term opt-out has been used often in some of the descriptions of what.
Now, the only one that can opt out really is the employer, but they gotta have a program in place to cover it. And you actually have to submit your program to the state, have them sign off on it before you can opt out.
And show that you have the alternative
Yeah.
in place. So, yeah.
So to go back to your state tax thing on gasoline. So a quick Google search shows that Maine collects 30 cents in taxes on every gallon of gas.
Yeah.
So if help me with the math, if we get a 15% discount on a $3 a gallon of gas, how much discount's that?
You know what it is.
45 cents.
Yeah.
So we're already recouping more than what the state is taxing with that WEX program. So
I was just wondering.
And what is WEX? I'm not familiar with WEX. Is that a
It's just.
government program or a?
That's who we contract with to get our fuel. It's a company.
So every county employee has a WEX card.
Well, yeah.
That, I should say, every county employee
That's
has.
issued a car.
Right.
It's a WEX.
So I'm just wondering, does it have to be one or the other, or?
I'll get you,
Right, I'll check to see if we can do both, if we can get both. Currently, we get the 50%, well, let's see if we can actually lower the base before we get the 15%.
Right.
Oh,
I'll check into it, it won't hurt to ask.
Thank you.
great. We're learning something every week.
Yeah, it's been like that since I've been here, so I don't know if we can.
Try to learn something ever new.
That 35 bucks. What do you do with the Wex? You go to the Big Apple with your Wex?
I know, they give us a 15% discount.
Let's
Right, that's why.
So- If we're all set with the finance,
Yeah.
Sheriff?
we had 350 calls for service last year. I'm going to be working on my annual report to be sent out beginning next week. Couple things to note, we covered over 1,000 crashes last year. That's the most we've ever done. And 16 of them were fatalities. And we usually average about 5. Deputies made over 1,000 arrests last year, so we've been quite busy. One thing I wanted to bring to your attention, I brought it to the start of the conversation with the county administrator. Our brown uniforms are getting harder to procure, so we're going to be working on changing our uniform to a sheriff's green pant with a silver and outside carrying vest. Not to put things on it, but the vest has the plates in it to protect the officer. Also has like straps so you can hook it to the belt so that you'll take the weight of the belt off the hip, so it might help us out with some of our workers' comp claims. So I just wanted to let you know that we'll be working on that moving forward.
I'm surprised that County Brown is going out of style nationwide.
It is, if Penobscot has gone to all black, I don't like that. Hancock has gone to all green. I don't like that. It'll be a silver tan shirt with the green pants, which is nationally, it's a lot easier to get more sheriff's offices wear that combination colors. And I think I'll be able to reduce the cost of uniforms also.
Note to self, reduce costs. Should have led with that one, too.
Not by much.
I don't care if they're orange.
You look at
Larger bulb.
Larger bulk.
I have a question. I was wondering if you had, in the Sheriff's Association, had discussed collaborative purchasing of vehicles, if all the counties got together, if you'd discuss that.
We have not.
Yeah.
Though that probably wouldn't be a bad conversation to have, but different counties have different platforms that they work off of.
Exactly.
That would be one of the obstacles, and, sheriffs, they're hard to change, so.
Oh, yeah, they ever. They're hard to change, that's why we keep reelecting them.
So, it's not a bad conversation,
Yeah.
the biggest conversation would be what platform would you work out?
Yeah, I just was wondering if that was something because of the past few years of having.
And we're still experiencing, we have 10 Tahoes on back order right now.
That's the whole thing. If we could get a bigger package, boom, maybe that would inspire.
That's a good point, good point.
Okay, that's just something that hopefully you'll make that discussion and we'll get some feedback, but
Okay.
appreciate it. DAs.
Good afternoon. So yeah, not much new going on in the DA's office, still status quo, but we are getting ready for a fairly busy trial month coming up here. We've got 7 trials and 5 backups that are scheduled for January, so that's keeping us out of trouble and busy, so we like that. We've just started the tax offset program for the restitution reclamation as well, so that is in full swing, so we'll be submitting that by the end of the week to the state. And what that is basically anybody who has absconded from making payments in their restitution, well, you're still filing taxes, and up until now, we have not had an opportunity to really take advantage of that. So there are statutory obligations that we have to be mindful of, and we have dotted those i's and crossed those t's. I don't have a final number as to what we'd be looking to recoup. That'll come from, honestly, it's a fluid thing because of who files taxes, and as soon as people realize that we're going after taxes, then they may cease to file, which that's another problem in and of itself. So, but that's in its infancy, and we've started that, and I'm very excited about seeing that roll out this year and seeing what that has. So I'll have more details as that becomes more available. So,
Great, thank you.
Is that going to be retroactive?
it will not be retroactive. It'll be starting from today. If they file their 2024 taxes this year, then we will be able to take.
But somebody got adjudicated like 10 years ago,
Oh, yeah.
still owes $1 million.
Absolutely.
You can still, okay.
We can still go after that. We just can't go after their taxes prior, so we'll be able to go up to, as long as it's on the books for restitution.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. It's always a grim surprise for a lot of people.
They're going to be surprised, that's for sure.
Just to get their child support.
Pay now or pay later.
Big brother's gonna get you.
Any other questions, comments?
Pay your debt to society. What are you talking
And any reports I may have missed?
Do you have anything, Dave?
Dave?
No.
Okay, so there's no roads under contention that we have to be aware of?
No major washouts yet.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
okay, nothing? Dave? Nothing?
No.
Okay, thank you. No unfinished business, new business, resolution 2504, to appoint 2 commissioners to union negotiations team for 2025. Is there a motion for commissioners? Who wants to be on that negotiations team?
I'm on the board, I'd like to be on it again.
I nominated me.
I understand that there's no negotiations this year?
So currently, there's no contracts that will come due this year in 2025. The FOP and the comm center contracts will come due July 1st of '26. And so you would anticipate, the only thing that a commissioner on the negotiating team for '25 would be if the union came forward asking to open the contract. So
Are you going to start negotiations before the contract ends, or?
for 2026 would be probably spring of '26.
The CLU.
All right, yeah.
Right,
Well, you started in January, February, March.
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Right, a year from now.
Yeah. Okay, so there's nothing for this year per se. So we have one nomination for Scott Seekins. Is there another nomination for another party?
I'll take it.
Well, I'd volunteer. Do you want to do it again? Doesn't sound like we're doing anything this year, so.
I was starting to lean towards that way.
Go ahead. Wow. All right, I nominate Sid.
Come on.
Okay, so we have Scott and Sip. All in favor?
Yeah.
Okay. Resolution 2505 to appoint a commissioner to the Chief Local Elected Officers Board.
I think John.
This is what I
I nominate Joel Steck.
And if, yeah.
You can nominate. You can throw it on me if you
Now,
want.
we don't really need to fill this position, in my view, because they have changed their rules so that there's only one designated county official that serves on this board, and he's in Kennebec County. And this is,
Well, why don't you nominate me so that something happens?
I think
I nominated Robert Cezak.
I second that.
The reason I say that is I talked to Joe the other day, and he said he needed some help, and I said I would help. All right, well, nominations for Robert Cezak. All in favor? Unanimous, how about that? Okay. Resolution 2506 to appoint a commissioner representative to the Somerset Economic Development Corporate Board.
I would be happy to continue on there.
Okay, I thought you would.
I'll be his associate. If he isn't able to make it, I'll take it.
Okay.
We did that
And
last-
then-
But we did that last year.
I never took
Do I have a nomination and a second?
So move.
Okay.
Joe wants it.
Did you second it, John?
Oh, second,
All right, thank you. And so for Joel Steckness to be the representative and Sip Johnson to be the alternate. All in favor? Okay. Resolution 2507 to appoint a commissioner representative to the Maine County Commissioners Association and to the MCCA Risk Pool. And I've been doing that, and I've been be happy to continue.
All right, nominate Robert Cezak.
I'm very happy to second that.
You have my full support.
So, okay, Robert Cezak has been nominated. All in favor? Let's go. And to appoint the county commissioner, the county administrator as proxy representatives to the Maine County Commissioners Association and the MCCA Risk Pool.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. And we can actually appoint any or more proxies as well. So if anybody had a dying need to jump on that. I see all sorts of feet move in the room.
It's a great learning experience.
All right, all in favor of the county administrator? None, thank you. And resolution 2509 to establish a property tax hearing officer I understand John Alsop would like to be nominated?
So actually, I have two resolutions here. The first resolution is to establish this.
Oh, that's right, it's
The
not
second one is to pick
to
something,
establish.
Okay.
belts and suspenders.
So, all in favor of a motion?
So moved.
All right, there's a resolution and a motion and second to establish a property tax hearing officer. Discussion, all in favor?
But the only thing I would,
It's established.
well, I just think it's a funny name, like, what do you call, like, the Madison, I mean, it's an appellate function of the.
It's the appeals board.
Like,
That's an appointed board, is the appeals board.
What are you picturing, the embroidery on your new?
it's a funny way of saying it.
Well, we could say,
Once you're appointed, you can change the name to that.
Okay.
it was more of a, it's a position, the name is suggested.
Okay.
Well,
I
anyway,
understand the position.
it's passed.
That's great.
Resolution 2510, to appoint a commissioner to serve as property tax hearing officer.
I would nominate John also.
Second.
John Elso, nominated and seconded as property tax hearing appeals officer. All in favor?
Okay.
It's good.
Thanks.
We're all good. And resolution 2511 to approve the hiring of Connor Valadou, excuse me, if I mispronounced that, and Ethan Staples as patrol deputies for Somerset Sheriff's Office.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Resolution 2512 to authorize the posting of shift supervisor and assistant shift supervisor positions at Somerset County Jail.
So moved.
Yeah.
Discussion? All in favor? We go. Capital reserve expenditures, none. No unorganized territory. Warrants. Resolution 2513 to approve the treasurer's warrant for general fund, Somerset County Jail, and unorganized territory for a total amount of $751,103.25.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor? That's the go. Miscellaneous discussion items, commissioners only. We are having a full meeting of the Maine County Commissioners Association on Wednesday, January 8th. I believe it will start at 9 a.m. and it's at the Governor Hill Mansion in Augusta. It'd be great if you could all show up. It's also, there's an organizational meeting where we'll be electing officers. And,
You have to pre-register.
yeah, that way they'll know how to, if they can feed you or not.
Yeah.
And it would be great if everybody could make it. There'll be some, I think it's at 9.
Well, that'll be a nice commute
Yeah,
across the street.
you'll be there already.
You walk.
Well, across the road.
Yeah.
That's at 9.
I think it's at 9,
Wednesday, next Wednesday.
next Wednesday. Let me see. But she did not say what time. But the agenda packet will be distributed this Friday, so you'll see it tomorrow. Or it'll come to you in the mail.
I'd give it a maybe.
Well, why don't you, she'd like to have reservations by Friday as well, so why don't you just make a reservation?
Okay,
If you don't show up,
how do I do that?
you should have gotten an email from her.
Huh? Along with the other million I get. What? Oh, there it is.
Okay,
Got it.
good. So that's good. Anything else? That's all I had.
We have one more thing, just for us to have in our mindset, because of the new package that's been put out for the state PD, in terms of salary and benefit, which is probably gonna hit us at some point in time in our negotiations, just to be thinking about what we're gonna be able to do to soften that blow in terms of having to, probably come back around again and increase our own situation here for our deputies and such. So just keeping that in mind, because it's really gonna have, I think, a pretty significant fallout in terms of how it's gonna affect other agencies that way. And loss of deputies, because they're gonna follow suit for these lucrative packages that the state police have just put out. So
Oh.
just something to put in our minds, to kind of be thinking about how we're gonna work through that
Yeah,
as we go along.
I haven't seen the package, so I'm not familiar with the package that you just put out.
It's, well, to put it bluntly, in terms of what they're gonna get, there are some police officers that are working officers right now that are gonna get almost a $300,000 package. And a lot of them are gonna retire on a $150,000 severance package per year. So it's something that, it's probably gonna affect us. I just wanted to bring it up so we could be thinking about.
Is there some written information you could share on
I
that?
will get
Yeah,
that to
send it.
everybody, but I just wanted to
Yeah.
put that in our minds, because we're gonna
Yeah.
have to be thinking about
Yeah.
what we're going to do, because it is going to affect
Like
our
New
tradition.
But that sounds like those are
And the state has approved it already.
retirement packages.
No, it's their current salaries and their retirement packages, and some of the long-existing officers are going to be making almost $300,000 a year and retiring on $150,000 a year. I'll get the info.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I always like to see that info. Yeah, thank you for the heads up. Is that? Okay. John? Miscellaneous discussion item?
Oh, no, I have nothing.
Joel?
Oh, I'm good.
Okay, thank you. And we'll take a few minutes breaks until then we'll go into executive session.
Wait on 3 minutes.
Tim, will you take these home with it to
Yeah.
us and submit them later?
The review is typically up to the chair, and so I would say, however you want to submit it, or
Okay,
Whatnot.
but I'll take it.
get it to Robert.
That's the most important thing.
Thanks, Sheriff.